Добро пожаловать.
Hoş geldin.
Bem-vindo.
Hoş geldiniz.
Bienvenido.
Benvenuto.
Bienvenue.
환영합니다.
ยินดีต้อนรับค่ะ
Swagat. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Mabuhay.
Chào mừng.
Herzlich willkommen.
欢迎 chào mừng đến với
Yokozo.
Welcome to Algonquin College.
So good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining us from. I'd like to welcome you this morning to our General Arts and Science English for Academic Purposes orientation this morning. Before we get started, I just wanted to acknowledge the land that we are located on. Algonquin College is located on the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe people, traditionally known as the Anishinaabe Algonquin people, which are the original people of the wide swath of territory of the Algonquin River. And Algonquin College respectfully thanks the Algonquin people for hosting us on their ancestral lands today. So just before we get started with part of the formal presentation, I just wanted to go through some of the housekeeping items. This webinar is being recorded this morning, and we will be sharing a copy of both the recording and the slide deck will be available on ICENT as of next week, May the 10th. Please use the chat if you are having any technical issues. Otherwise, during the Q&A portion, if you do have any questions, please use the Q&A box and we will answer your questions and try to help you as much as possible this morning. We will only be answering questions related to today's presentation. There will be other topics covered in AC Day 1 presentations, specific program orientations, and hopefully maybe some of you last week attended the College Essentials. There is a recording available if you missed that and would like to go back and reference that information. Just a reminder that you can see and hear us, but we're not able to see or hear you. So just so you're aware of the agenda for this morning, I'm going to first go through some introductions of the panelists that we have here this morning. David DeVoe, who is the chair of the Language Institute, will be back around 9:30 this morning to give a welcome because we are expecting other students to join us at around 9:30, some of the Canadian students that will be joining the English program. And so some of those students might be in the same class with you. Then we will have a slide presentation by the International Education Center and the services we provide for international students, followed by a Q&A. We will be doing then a Kahoot game, and then we will switch it over and the Language Institute will be giving a presentation, and then we'll be able to take any of your questions at the end. So just before we get started with the presentation, just to let you know some of the people that have joined us here this afternoon. So we have Ms. Shinadu Mumba. She is one of the coordinators of the EAP program, as well as Dima Zayed Kilani. She is also another coordinator and she coordinates the international student section. We're joined by Mary Grammatikakis, who is your student success specialist, and Irina Pimoshenska, who is your technical support person in the Language Institute. And I'm also joined by my colleague, Caitlin Poisson, who is another international student advisor. So just before we get started, do we have any questions before we get started? I see there's a couple of things in the chat, but I'm not able to see what they are. And just apologies, we did have a brief technical glitch this morning. I was locked out of my system, so that's why we were a few minutes late starting the presentation. But if we don't have any formal questions this morning, then I'm going to get started and start going through some of the information that we have for you this morning. So as I mentioned, David is the chair of the Language Institute. He will be back around 9:30 to give a warm welcome from the Language Institute. And just on behalf of all of my colleagues here at Algonquin College, I just want to welcome you to Algonquin and thank you for choosing Algonquin College as your destination for your studies in the English Academic Purposes program. And then hopefully we'll see many of you after you've graduated from English join us in our academic programs. So just to give you a brief snapshot of the International Education Center, we are a student support center here to help and support all of the international students that are here studying at Algonquin College. As you can see on the slide, we offer a wide variety of support for our international students. As we know, it's a big challenge coming to a new country and getting adapted and settled into Algonquin. So we'll help you with any arrival services, settlement. We do orientation sessions. We have peer mentoring, student mentorship. And as we go through this PowerPoint, we will talk about many of these services in detail throughout the session today. So in the International Education Center, we have a large support team. We have at the very top left corner, Christine Peachy, who is our Associate Director. On the far right, we have Selma Yarjani, who is our Acting Manager of Student Integration. We have Carolyn Lepage, you will probably get to know her. She administers the health insurance for our international students. We have 4 international student advisors, which my name is Sue Hodgins and I'm one of the international student advisors. We have Caitlin, as I mentioned, she's a student advisor. Sonia Bell, Michelle Cameron, and then we have Jenna Darwin, who is our client service receptionist. So as you make your way to Canada and when you come on campus, if you come down to the International Center, Jenna will probably be that first point of contact and that warm and bubbly face that you meet when you come to the International Education Center. So within the International Education Center, we kind of have like four branches. So we have the international student advisors that are here to help our incoming students. We also have a team of international recruitment advisors, which I'm sure now that some of you have been accepted to Algonquin, you've already been in touch with various advisors from around the world. And we have some that are here located in Ottawa. We have the GuardMe Health Insurance Administrator, Carolyn, and then we have a peer mentors and leadership program, which a little bit later in the presentation, Caitlin will probably tell you a little bit more about that program. And it's a wonderful program matching upper level students with new incoming students. So we hope you really take advantage of that as our peer leaders do lots of wonderful events and activities for all students on campus. So as I mentioned, these are some of the IEC support services that we offer. If you haven't already, I would strongly suggest that you download the ICENT app, and I will talk about the ICENT app just a little bit later in the presentation. We push out bi-weekly newsletters with lots of valuable information of upcoming events and workshops that we're hosting for international students. We invite IRCC here to give presentations to our international students and various workshops related to your study permit, your work permit, and other documents that you need while you're here as an international student studying in Canada. There's also a Succeed in Canada course that will automatically show up in your Brightspace, and I will talk about that just a little bit later as well. So these would be sort of your core contacts that if you need to reach out to us, if you need to reach any one of the international student advisors at any time, you can just send an email to IEC Support at algonquincollege.com. As we are transitioning back to sort of a hybrid model of us being part-time on campus and working from home, you now have the option of booking an appointment to meet with an advisor either here in person, face-to-face, or still virtually, we're hosting those meetings. So your first point of contact would be to send an email to IEC Support, and then we'll be able to facilitate helping you book that meeting. We also have an email dedicated to the GuardMe Insurance, which is IEC Insurance. If you need to reach out to the international admissions team in regards to your academic program, if you're bridging to an academic program after you've completed EAP, you would contact the admissions team. Our recruiters can be reached at international@algonquin College. And if you need help as you're making your way to Canada, like if you're looking for accommodations and that, we do have Travel to Canada support. There is an email for that. And then we have a separate email as well for the International Peer Mentorship Program. So the ICENT app is a handy tool that we've probably had for the last couple of years. If you have not already done this, I would strongly suggest that you download the ICENT app, because this is sort of your one-stop shop where you can get lots of information. If we need to push out an urgent message to our international students, we'll send you a notification or reminder here. We've got lots and lots of resources, from student resources to our orientation, how to get to your Succeed in Canada. So you have all that information on your fingertip. And the next slide is, I'm just going to give you a little brief video on what the ICENT app will do for you.
Get to know the college. IEC ICENT App Edition. What is ICENT App? ICENT is a one-stop shop free app designed for Algonquin College international students to access and navigate campus resources, services, online portals, and receive push notifications with important updates 24/7 at your fingertips. How to download and register for the ICENT app. Download the app from a Canadian region Google Play or App Store. Register with your preferred email or via a third-party account. Choose Algonquin College as the institution, then you're all set. How to navigate information on this app. You can access all campus services and resources via the landing page tabs. For example, you can access IRCC immigration-related resources regarding your study permit, work permit, and temporary resident visa under Student Resources. You can also find other essential resources regarding your life as international students under this tab. Want to follow what events and workshops are happening on campus or online? Check out the Events and Workshops tab, which includes event calendars from the International Education Center, AC Hub, and Students Association, so you will not miss out on any events that interest you. If you're getting tired of bookmarking different web pages to access online portals, request forms, and letters, then you will love the Online Portals and Requests tab. This tab gathers most frequently used online portals and document requests in one place for your convenience. It's also very important to get connected and involved with the AC community to gain valuable experience and networking. Check out the Support and Engagement tab to find resources to enrich your experience with Algonquin College. Whenever important information and reminders occur, you will receive push notifications on your phone from ICENT and when you log on to the app landing page. The bell button at the bottom will indicate if there are any new notifications that you have not read. We also use this function to notify when a bi-weekly international newsletter has been updated under the Newsletters tab. It is critically important to check out the newsletters for the most up-to-date information and reminders for AC international students. This video only provides a quick and general overview of how to navigate this app. We encourage you to explore more tabs and resources on this app to ease your life and be successful during your study at Algonquin College as an international student.
So the next thing that I would just like to talk about is a course that's called Succeed in Canada. So that's a course for all international students. It's a mandatory course that we've developed for international students. You will see that this course will be automatically uploaded to your Brightspace account. And Brightspace is the tool that you're going to be using for your classes. And later on in the presentation, Irina will talk to you a little bit more about Brightspace, how to access your Brightspace. But Brightspace is one of the courses that you'll have. So for example, when you log into your Brightspace account, you should be able to see this course there. And then you'll see a variety of different sections in the course. For example, information on life in Canada, what to expect before you arrive, academic success, what to expect the first week of classes. So this is a great course to work on at your own pace, and it gives you lots of valuable information as you prepare to start your classes next week in the EAP program. So if you get a chance, please log in and start working on that Brightspace course. If for some reason when you log into Brightspace, and one of the things is you need to be already registered in your EAP program. So that means you would have already had to have either written the placement test or submitted your IELTS score, so you could have been placed in the program and paid your tuition fees and then be registered on our system to be able to see this course. If you do not see that course, please send an email to IEC Support, and then that email will be triaged probably to myself, and then I'll be able to look into the reason why you're maybe not registered in the course yet. But you should all have that course inside your Brightspace account. We also have a website that's dedicated to international students. You'll see there's various topics on the website. We update it every semester. So for example, there's be a tab with the 22 spring information. There's a tab with information specifically for EAP students, help regarded to health and safety, the IRCC questions, so some general questions if you have in regards to your study permit or your work permit as you get familiar with how the system works here in Canada. So now the next couple of slides, I am going to focus and talk a little bit about your IRCC documents. And I know some of you that are starting EAP, you might still be in your home country waiting for an approval from your IRCC in regards to your study permit application that you've submitted to them. So just a reminder that international students are regulated by IRCC, and potentially not following the rules as an international student might affect your future or possibly future applications if eventually your plan is possibly to emigrate to Canada. So just keep that in mind, that as an international student, your focus should always be, your first priority should always be your studies. They have lots of wonderful programs to help you, but you always have to remember that studies need to be a priority. You are able to, if you meet criteria, can find part-time jobs. And as part of the portfolio for the international student advisors, we have our certification. So for example, my certification is RISIA, which is a regulated international student immigration advisor. The rest of the team have their RISIA or possibly RCIC. So we can guide and advise you on the best steps for your study permit, work permit as it pertains to an international student here. We cannot guide and advise you in regards to the PR process, but we are able to help you with your study permit or visitor visa, what you can and cannot do to help sort of navigate you through that maze of what the IRCC website is. You can also reach out to them. They do have a phone number, or if you're having issues, we know that there's lots of backlog right now because they have lots and lots of applications from around the world, especially when we know what's happening in the Ukraine and some other areas of the world. So you need to be a little bit patient, and we will help you, as I said, get through that maze. It's important to know that as an international student, it is your responsibility, though, to make sure that you keep your documents up to date. When you actually come to Canada, when you're entering at the port of entry, that's where you're going to be showing your letter of approval. Once you get approved for your study permit, you would show that at the port of entry to the immigration officer. Just before you leave the airport, just make sure that you check those documents. Take a look at it. Did they spell your name right? Did they have your program incorrect? Because we have sometimes we have seen that everyone's human and sometimes they make a mistake. And so it's important to get familiar with your documents and just make sure that there's no mistakes when you first receive them at the port of entry. So part of the study permit conditions, as I mentioned, is you need to be actively pursuing your studies as an international student. So that means, you know, do your best, come to class every day, and do the best that you can to successfully move through your EAP levels so that you can then move on to your academic programs. If some students are joining us, perhaps you were studying, maybe you're already here in Canada and you were studying at another school. If you are changing institutions, so when you initially did your application with IRCC, you might have been connected to Algonquin College as your designated learning institution. But if you are changing to a different school, then it's important to keep IRCC up to date. So you need to let them know, for example, if you change schools, you need to update them with your address just so that they know how to reach you potentially if they need to. You should also be aware that as a DLI, Algonquin is a DLI, so twice a year, we are obligated to do what's called a compliance report. So IRCC will send us a list of all the international students, and then we need to report on them as to whether you're studying, you've graduated, maybe you've taken a break. So that's why it's important just to keep your documents and everything up to date. One reminder that if you are an EAP student, you are not eligible to work off campus. And I'll talk about the working component a little bit later on. But many of you might, when you first made your application to Algonquin, you have a conditional letter of acceptance to an academic program. So you might be doing EAP now, and then in the future, let's say you've applied to the business program. So take a look at your letter of acceptance that you've received from the international admissions team. On your letter of acceptance, it will say whether you need to successfully complete either level 5 or level 6 of the EAP program to then be eligible to go into your academic program. With that letter of acceptance, some of you, it might also say for your academic program that along with your study permit, you will also need a work permit. And IRCC calls that work permit a co-op/internship work program. It's important to know that that co-op work permit is only to be used for your academic program. So it's not meant to be used to have a little part-time job as an international student here on campus. So your study permit, in your conditions on your study permit, you take a look at that document. And if it says you're allowed to work on or off campus, that's where you'll be able to then have a little part-time job if you're able to find one on campus. Again, from our perspective, we strongly encourage that you wait at least until maybe level 5 or level 6 when you have a strong base of your English skills. It's a great way to practice your English outside of the classroom. But again, just please remember that your academic studies always need to be the main focus while you're here in Canada. So the work off campus, when you have successfully completed your EAP, so let's, for example, you're starting EAP, let's say you're going to start your business program in September, for example. So if that is the case, and you received both the study permit and the work permit, once you bridge into your academic program, so in September you start a business program, that's when you would have the eligibility to then be able to work off campus. So, and I know you're receiving a lot of information this afternoon. Don't worry about trying to remember everything. At any time, please always reach out to us, and we'll be able to help answer any of the questions that you might have in regards to your immigration documents. So this is what I mentioned about the off-campus. So again, if you're going into a business program, it's important to remember that if you have a 2-month gap between when you've completed EAP and then starting your academic program, you won't be able to start working until the very first day of your semester. So for example, in September, that would be September 6th. Part of once you arrive here in Canada too, the government has kind of 4 branches. So you have IRCC that regulates any of your immigration documents. Service Canada is another government agency, and that's the governing body that would issue what's called in Canada a social insurance number. So as an EAP student, it's not an identification document or anything, but as an international student, once you get a part-time job, the social insurance number is what you need in order for your employer to be able to legally pay you in Canada. So if you do have a part-time job, then your employer will ask you for your social insurance number, and that's what they need to pay you on that. And we do, Service Canada comes to do webinars for international students. We actually have a webinar this afternoon in regards to the social insurance number, because a couple of important things is, in order to even make your application for your SIN number, you actually have to be physically here in Canada, so you cannot apply for this from outside of Canada. You have to have received your study permit, which your study permit is what you receive when you enter Canada. It needs to have the condition and the remark on your study permit saying you may be able to accept employment on or off campus. If you do not have that remark on your study permit, you won't be able to apply for it, but you might have to amend your document. And again, we can help you with walking you through all these steps, but I just want to start to make you familiar with some of the processes here once you arrive. So next, I'm going to share a little video that's from our health and wellness from the health center.
Welcome to Health and Wellness Quick Tips. I am Rose, and I am a health promotion and education coordinator with health services at Algonquin College. Our health services clinic has a great team of doctors and nurses, including a mental health nurse, available to support our students. We are located in room C141 in C building, and we are open from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. Currently, with COVID-19, all appointments must be pre-booked. We are not accepting walk-ins due to safety protocols. Student ID and health insurance cards must be verified before the appointment by telephone. Make sure to check our website for any procedure updates and to make an appointment. Health Services provides medical care, prescriptions, blood tests, STI testing, PAP testing, immunizations, birth control information, smoking cessation support, and mental health support. For more information, check our website.
So as an international student, you will also be automatically enrolled with the mandatory GuardMe health insurance policy. So you will receive an email probably probably next week. So as soon as you automatically get registered in your EAP classes, you will be enrolled automatically in the GuardMe insurance. It is a mandatory health policy for all international students. It is not a dental plan, it's a health plan. And again, if you have any questions in regards to the GuardMe policy, you can always send an email to IEC Insurance with your questions that you might have. So you also, this is what your GuardMe insurance card would look like. As I said, you'll receive an email. It'll be an email from GuardMe, and you'll have to click on the link, and then you'll get a copy of this little digital card. Again, just verify the spelling of your name is correct. It should have your Algonquin College student number, and it should have a start and end date of the validity of your card. As EAP students, your health insurance is valid every 2 months. So students starting now in the May intake, you will have valid health insurance until June, end of June. Once you re-register in your next level of EAP, you'll automatically be enrolled and receive a new one. Then once you bridge into an academic program, that's when you'll actually get your health insurance coverage for a full year of coverage. So also on the ICENT app, there is a health and wellness tab. So then you'll see you're linked to 3 important links. One where you can log right into your account with GuardMe. You can access a mobile doctor if you're not feeling well and you need to actually meet with the doctor. There's also a tool on there called GuardMe Keep Me Safe, which is a nice tool that you can use, and you can also reach out and speak. I think they have people that speak at least 30 to 40 different languages. So if you feel more comfortable speaking to someone in your own first language, you can do that through the GuardMe Safe mobile app that they have as well for international students. We also have a website. So on the website, you can go and log in. If some of you are also arriving with maybe dependents, maybe you're accompanied by a husband or wife, or you have children, you can also add those dependents to your health insurance plan. And again, if you need to do that, we can help you, guide you and walk you through the steps. So just to know that you do have that health insurance coverage while you're here studying as an international student. Next, we have a little video from our counseling services office.
During these times of COVID, change and uncertainty can sometimes feel isolating and overwhelming. But remember, you're not alone.
At Counseling Services, there are many ways of accessing supports through our Pathways to Care model.
You can use self-led supports like apps and workbooks. Many of these are shown on our website.
If you would like to speak with someone through Zoom or over the phone, you start by calling or emailing us at the Welcome Centre. With some brief information, we will help you get connected with a counsellor.
We provide short-term supportive counselling for personal and academic concerns and could even help with referrals to supports of the college or the greater community.
We also offer career counseling and can help you in making an informed choice around your program and career, as well as further decisions about your education.
Bonjour, Ani. Hello. You might want an Indigenous counselor. I use both traditional knowledge and mainstream counseling practices.
Counseling groups are running virtually, and students can join for weekly support.
And don't forget to check out our workshops on stress management, time management, study strategies, and more, now available online through the Student Learning Center.
Even though we may not be there on campus, we're still here to help.
So as you can see, we have lots and lots of resources here on campus that are here, and a lot of them are transitioning back to being sort of a hybrid model of being open on campus. Next, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Algonquin College Security Services. They also have an AC mobile app that you can download that has lots of resources so that if you need to contact us or if you have any emergencies, you can always reach out to Algonquin College Security. They know how to get a hold of someone from our office if it is an emergency situation outside the normal business hours when our office is running. So the next couple of slides we're just going to talk a little bit about security and fraud and scams. So because we have seen over the last few years an increase in the rise and the number of scammers. We're getting even, you know, I know on my personal phone, I get scam calls where somebody pretends that they're someone from a government office, like maybe Canada Border Services. Just be aware that there are lots of people out there that unfortunately are trying to target international students. If someone's offering you something and it sounds like a deal too good to be true, don't be afraid to hang up the phone if you don't recognize who the caller is. Or before you go ahead and do anything, like if somebody's asking you to transfer money, otherwise they're going to get you deported, please do not do anything like that without maybe checking with our office first, okay? Because in the past, we have had a couple of students that have fallen prey to some of these scams. So that's why we're just trying to raise awareness of what some of these frauds and scams are. So I do have a few little videos, and these are some samples of what different scams are, that email scams that students have fallen prey to. So we're just going to look at a few of these little videos.
While checking your email, you receive an alarming message from your bank. It says that your account might be jeopardized and provides a link to enter in your private information. Even though the logos and contact information appear to be correct, this email wasn't from your bank, but instead it was sent by cybercriminals looking to phish you. Phishing is when scammers trick you into divulging personal and financial information by pretending to be a legitimate source. Just like fishermen cast lines with bait attached, these scammers send out official-sounding emails, hoping that you will let your guard down. They often build entire pages and logins dedicated to looking like authentic banks or businesses, designed to get you to gain your trust and lower your guard. Even more alarming, phishers can even pose as your friends and family to trick you. In some cases, a phishing email can install malware on your computer without you even entering your username and password. Regardless of how they obtain it, once cybercriminals have your login information, they can change your passwords, steal your money, and even your identity. There are many ways to identify a possible phishing email. No legitimate bank, government agency, or business would send you an email requesting that you re-enter your private information. Misspellings, poor grammar, and typos are also good indicators of a phishing email. If you receive a phishing email, the best thing to do is just ignore it and mark it as spam. You can also use anti-spam filters as a way to avoid these emails entirely. You should always be on guard when opening up unknown emails. And make sure you have the latest internet security and email protection software on your computer to avoid phishing scams entirely.
What happened to my PowerPoint?
Win at work by communicating effectively. With Grammarly,
Meet Ty.
he is emailing a difficult client.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly ensures Ty's confidence comes through in his writing.
There are a few things that we do at night that will challenge the liver. We eat late and we drink. Once you go to sleep, your body is trying to get into REM, you're trying to produce growth hormone, you're trying to renew cells. That's the whole point of sleep, right? We're cell renewing, we get up in the morning, we feel great. If your body is processing heavy foods, salt, sugar, fat, all that late at night, you are basically asking the digestive system and the liver to work overtime. So what does that give you? It gives you a tired morning where you badly need a flush. I'm not telling you that you can't spoil yourself. You should be able to do that because you have to have joy in life, right? But make sure that you're counteracting.
I just think there's the internet browsers playing a YouTube
and ingest
video.
things that will actually help flush it out.
So most people go through life without
ever experiencing what true health really feels like. I really just want to shake people and say it doesn't.
So sorry about that. So the next one is an example of a scam from a CRA, which would be a phone call.
Hello. This call is from the Tax Department of Canada Revenue Agency. The reason behind this call is that there is a case, a lawsuit, that is getting filed under your name. The moment you receive this message, I need you to get back to me on my department division number. That is 438-241-2004. Now, if I don't hear a call from you, we will have to issue an arrest warrant under your name and get you arrested. So get back to me as soon.
This is another form of spoofing.
It's known as spoofing, when scammers mask phone numbers in your caller ID display so an incoming call looks like it's from a familiar number. Spoofers often use your area code, so a call may seem like it's from a neighbor, a local company, or even a government agency. They can get you at hello, even if no one's on the line. Sometimes scammers use spoofed robocalls to see if your line is live so they can target you later. Or you may be prompted to push a button on your phone to hear an important message. Don't do it. It may result in fraudulent charges. You may hear a recording or a live operator or some combination following a scam script designed to confuse you. The caller may already know a lot about you and may try to use that to fool you into giving them more. Keep your guard up. If a caller starts asking you for your PIN or a password to a bank account, or if you feel pressured or bullied, hang up. If you want to call back, use a customer service number you can validate on a bill, an account statement, or an official website. Bottom line, if you don't recognize the number, don't answer. And if you do, don't hang on, hang up. Learn more at fcc.gov/spoofing.
So there's also various texting spam. So you might get some strange text messages. If you're not aware of who that person is or familiar with who you're receiving that text from, just be aware and not open things unless you're 100% sure. As I mentioned, if it's a deal saying, you know, you're going to get a discount or win something free, 9 times out of 10, it's too good to be true. And it's just somebody trying to scam you out of your money. So again, just be cautious and, you know, when in doubt, check with our office, send an email and ask us, you know, is this true that if I do X, Y, Z, I can get a deal? Just want to talk about, as we're moving into the spring, a little bit about water safety. So if you're not a strong swimmer and you might be going out swimming or boating, just to always proceed with caution. Make sure if you're out on a water vehicle that you are wearing like a life jacket when you're out like fishing or canoeing or boating, because just be aware, like a lot of the rivers and stuff here in Ottawa have very, very strong currents, especially in the spring. And if you're not a strong swimmer or whatever, we highly recommend not going out, because we would desperately wouldn't want something tragic to happen. And, you know, if you're not aware of water safety rules, avoid, you know, drinking alcohol or other substances when you're out on the water, and just sort of be water smart, right? So with the COVID measures, currently we are sort of seeing a lot of the restrictions being lifted. I know that when you're making your way to Canada, you still need to have that ArriveCan app. So you still need to show your proof of vaccination. Just within the last week or so here on campus, if you're here on campus, you do still need to wear a mask. So just sort of check where you're going, what you're doing, because you still might, depending on where you're going, some places still might ask to see your proof of vaccine, or you still might be have to wear your mask depending on where you're going. So just a reminder, and if there are any changes, which hopefully there won't be, but if there are changes to procedures or protocols for on campus or around the city, especially for here at Algonquin, you will receive an email. Normally it comes from the president's office whenever we have a change in the policy due to COVID and the masking and screening. So that's just to be aware of that, right? We also have an international events calendar. So this is a great resource that, again, you can access this calendar from the ICENT app. We've got lots and lots wonderful events and activities that we're doing. I know Caitlin has a wonderful upcoming event planned for the 12th of May, which will be a hike in the Gatineau Park. So if you're able to go to that, that'll be great. We also, as I mentioned, we have the social insurance number tutorial this afternoon. And so just take a look at our calendar and register for any of the upcoming events. We do lots of events, either ourselves offered by IEC, or we partnership with a lot of groups on campus. So we do events with, like, for example, the AC Hub. There's also a plant event that Caitlin is planning. So just check the calendar and please sign up and get involved. That's a great way, again, as I mentioned, to practice your English as well. So just as a final reminder, some of the things that you should be doing potentially in the first week of your classes. If you haven't done so already, we strongly encourage you to log on to your Access, update your information. So we need to have a current, like, emergency contact. We need to have, like, your current email address if you use a Gmail or a Hotmail or a QQ mail, so that we can get a hold of you if we need to. Update it with if you get a smartphone once you're here in Canada, so that we have your cell phone number, so that we can, you know, reach out to you in case that we need to. Please go ahead and work on that mandatory Succeed in Canada course that I mentioned that will be inside your Brightspace. Register for any of the AC Day 1 events, which are next week on Monday. Now, I know your EAP classes will not be canceled, so check your timetable, and then outside of your timetable hours, you are free to attend any of the AC Day 1 events that are up and running for all new students. And then just a reminder that these slides and the recording will be uploaded to ICENT next week on May the 10th. So you'll be able to review any of the information if you need to next week. There is also a website dedicated to all the AC Day 1 events. So please just, if you even want to Google AC Day 1 Algonquin College, you'll be able to see all the wonderful events. And they've got events going on all day. I think they start at around 7 o'clock in the morning. They will have some events here on campus and some are virtual. So again, take a look at that and take advantage and get involved. That's a great way to become involved, and you can meet other students as well by going to some of these events. So I just want to thank you for your patience this afternoon, or sorry, this morning. And that is the end of my formal presentation. I'm going to actually right now, before we take any questions, I'm going to, or actually if we do have any questions, I don't know if Caitlin, if you're able to see, is there anything? I don't see anything right now in the Q&A. If we don't have any questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it over to Caitlin, because at this point right now, we are going to do a Kahoot, a fun little Kahoot game with you. And then we will be making the change. David, as I mentioned, the chair will be coming to give a warm welcome from the Language Institute. And then the Language Institute will give you a presentation in regards to your academic studies and what to expect in the classroom. So right now I'm just going to stop share so that Caitlin will be able to do the Kahoot game with you.
Hi, everybody. Can you see the Kahoot game?
I can see classic mode and team mode. That's what I see.
Great.
Yeah.
There were some questions. Thanks so much, Sue, by the way. And there were some questions in the chat from domestic students asking if they are in the right place. And the answer is yes, you are in the right place. So the more general portion will follow the international. So before we dive into that, we're going to play a little fun game. For those of you who have not played Kahoot before, please pull out your phones or open another browser on your computer and go to kahoot.it. That's kahoot.it. Once you are at kahoot.it, you will load this game pin into your screen or scan the QR code, and a name will be automatically generated. So once we start the game, there are about 10 questions, and they're all about getting to know Algonquin College. Please keep in mind that accuracy and speed both count. So you'll have to go as fast as you can and be as accurate as you can when you answer. So we'll give you guys another couple minutes to join here. Give you 30 more seconds to join. We've got 17 participants. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are going to get started. Let's go. Here we go. Question number 1. Which year was the inaugural year for Algonquin College? Was it 1957, 1867, 1967, or 1977? Right on. Most of you guys got that right. That's great. So it's 1967. Good job. Charming Eagle is in the lead. What is the name of Algonquin College's varsity sports team? Is it the Lightning? Is it the Wolves? Is it the Capitals? Or is it the Greens? That's why we have the Wolves Den and the gym is all that title. So if you can catch a Wolves game, I definitely recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Charming Eagle still in first place. So what are the 3 Algonquin College campuses? Are they Perth, Pembroke, Ottawa, Perth, Banff, Toronto, Hawaii, Ottawa, Paris, or Pembroke, Ottawa, Cornwall? That's right, Perth, Pembroke, Ottawa. Unfortunately, we do not have a campus in Hawaii at this point. Staying strong in number 1, Charming Eagle. So what is the name of the Algonquin College mascot? Is it Thor? Is it Hugs Unlimited? Is it Griffin? Or is it Rocky? Five seconds left here, guys. Thor, yeah, not many of you knew that, so you've learned something new today. The Algonquin mascot is Thor. Okay, we're about halfway done here. So what area of the college can help you with technology in the classroom? Is it the registrar's office or the RO? Is it human resources? Is it learning and teaching services? Or is it the observatory? Great job. It is learning teaching services. Still in first place, Charming Eagle. You're doing well. Who is the current president of Algonquin College? Is it Claude Brulé? Is it Cheryl Hines? Is it Cheryl Jensen? Or is it Kent McDonald? So 8 of you got that right. It is Claude Brulé. So you'll have a chance to meet President Brulé, likely if you are attending AC Day 1. I think he'll give everybody a warm welcome on that day. Can anybody catch up? Maybe the Daring Leopard. So who should I contact if I have issues with technology? Is it the Student Association? Is it the Hub? Is it ITS? Or is it the International Education Center? Yes, ITS is who you will contact if you have any issues with your technology. They're super helpful. Good job, guys. What services are provided by the International Education Center or the IEC? Is it immigration advice, help with visa permit applications, events and workshops, or all of the above? That's right, all of the above. Great job. Well done, guys. Okay, 2 more questions left. So what is the Hub? Is the Hub a type of cheese from Algonquin College? Is it a place to hang out, to study, and to host events? Is it the school library, or is it a dance hall? That's right, so it is a place to study, hang out, host events. It's a really nice space. It's located above the Starbucks, so definitely recommend that you check out the Hub when you come to campus. Okay, final question, guys. What is the largest AC student population? Is it 17 to 20 years old? Is it more than 24 years old? Is it 20 to 24 years old? Or is it under 17 years old? 5 questions. Right, 20 to 24 years old. Most of you, a lot of you guys got that right, so good job. All right, let's see who's placing on the podium. In third place, we have Super Jaguar. Congratulations. We have Daring Leopard in second, and I think I know who's going to be in first. Carving Eagle, well done. You guys want to put in the chat and share who you are in the chat? Please do that. You can have some bragging rights. So great job, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the game, and I am going to hand it back over now.
So thank you, Caitlin. That was great. So now, as I mentioned, we have David DeVoe that has joined us, and he's going to give a warm welcome to all of our EAP students.
Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Caitlin. That was great. And great to see that a lot of you are aware of what's going on at Algonquin College already. That's wonderful. Way to go, Charming Eagle, Is it Daring Leopard and Super Jaguar, the top three. Great stuff. Just even looking at that video just reminds me of what we've been missing and the on-campus environment. And I can't wait for us and for you to return to campus. I hope this all happens soon, really soon. It's an incredible environment and vibe that we have that we're just missing out on. And getting you back in the classrooms is an ideal learning experience for all of you. But right now, we are offering a virtual remote delivery for EAP through to the summer. Stay tuned what happens in the fall. Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is David DeVoe. I'm the chair of the Language Institute. And I always take this opportunity to welcome and say hi so that you know who I am and to welcome you to the college and to the EAP program and the start of your Algonquin journey and the EAP experience. I'm not sure, like I said, we look forward to when we can return on campus, and I'm not sure if you have concerns of studying online or virtual remote, as we call it. If you do, I'd like to address those right now. We've been offering the virtual remote learning for over 2 years now, since the start of the pandemic in 2020. That is hard to believe. Wow. And with that, I can attest that our faculty have been working incredibly hard and going to great lengths just to make sure that you have a quality, exceptional learning experience. One where you're going to be fully prepared for life after college, and also in a program of study if that's the direction you choose. They've spent many hours working together, listening to student feedback and revising curriculum delivery and making it all work so that students are successful and they are meeting those learning outcomes, which is what we need to do in this environment. Okay, so nothing is compromised in this learning environment. The learning outcomes are the learning outcomes whether you are face-to-face in a classroom or online. And I also like to share what we want, what everyone wants that you're seeing right here on this panel, and every one of you who are joining us, the almost 60 participants that I'm seeing. We all want the same thing. We all share a common goal, and that's for you to be successful. We want you to be prepared and excited for your Algonquin experience, but prepared for life after college as well. And that's what we're here to help you with. And I stress the keyword help you with, keywords help you with, because it's ultimately up to you. It's up to you to make this a priority. It's up to you to make the right decisions. And we're here to guide you and help you facilitate that learning along the way. So some takeaways, some suggestions. To help you be successful, don't fall behind. This is a very demanding program. It's busy. If you do fall behind, we do have people and supports in place to help you get up. But the best piece of advice I can get is keep on top of your studies. Don't fall behind in the first place. And also just to review your lessons often. That's helpful. Review your notes, review your bright space. That's also helpful. Ask questions when you don't understand. I was one of those students, I remember in high school, who was very shy. Can you believe that? I was nervous just raising my hand in high school. And then I became a teacher in high school. And then I became a professor in college and university. So we can get out of our shells, is what I'd like to share. But I remember in high school just being incredibly nervous with all eyes upon me and just shaking. And when I was talking and raising my hand to ask questions, don't let that be you. If you don't understand something, that's what we're here to help you with, to make sure that you understand. And we can only help you if you let us know that you don't understand something. So again, don't be silent. Ask questions when you don't understand. Also, don't be silent when you're struggling. You know, if you have a problem of some sort, whether it be personal or even in an academic context, we're all here, and the college has many, many supports which you're going to learn about to help you be successful. There's the college supports, there's the international supports, there's us and the Language Institute and the EAP team for supports. There's a host of help here for you to be all successful. And my goal and what I aspire is to see you walk across the graduation stage at some point. That's the highlight of all what we do. We can't wait for that, and we're going to be here to help you see that through. Just on another note, we cannot guarantee timetables. All right, so I just need to make that very clear. There needs to be a choice made by you to study, to make EAP a priority, and we're here to help you with that, but we cannot make timetables fit into your lives. It's just unrealistic at this point, so I just want to put that out there. The idea is we'll do the best we can. There is an opportunity for you to switch timetables. There's a window for that, but outside of that, we're not going to be able to accommodate your timetable. So I just want to put that out there right now, because I'm seeing all kinds of requests coming through. Okay, so with all of that in mind, I again welcome you, and I wish you all the best in your studies and your Algonquin journey. And hopefully we will see you on campus. And if you have the opportunity to visit campus, it is opening up. Our classes will be virtually remote, but the campus is opening up, and I encourage you to take that step to go on campus, to see what's there, the ARC and all the facilities, and just to meet and mingle. IEC actually, for our international students, publicizes some events that are going to be coming up through the ICENT app, but I think Sue had already mentioned that probably before. But again, welcome and all the best. Thanks, everyone.
So thanks so much, David. So now, as I mentioned, we're going to pass it along to Shinadu and her support team, and they are going to now give you a PowerPoint slide on the academic program and expectations in the classroom. So thank you and welcome, everyone. And we will be here still in the background, just if you have any other questions, that we'll be along for the journey.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you, Sue, and welcome everybody. My name is Chinedu Umba, and I coordinate the domestic Canadian stream of the EAP program. Today, I'd like to introduce, we've got Dima Zaid Kilani. Dima is covering for Javid. Javid is the coordinator for the international stream. He's away on vacation, and Dima has kindly agreed to step into the shoes and cover for Javid. We also have Mary Grammatikakis. Mary is going to be one of your closest friends in the program. She is here to support you. Her role is what we call the student support specialist. She will have time to talk to you a little bit more. We also have Irina. Irina is a lady who wears so many hats. She is lovely. She teaches in the program, and she also provides tech support if you have Brightspace questions and how to navigate the computer system at the college. Irina is always happy to help. Well, Caitlin already introduced herself. She works with IEC, and we have a special person, Sue, here, who's the guru, and of course, David. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some time to share more specific information about the EAP program. So the information you'll be listening to in the next 30 minutes or so will be focused on programming, the EAP program. As already indicated, please post your questions in the Q&A section, and Dima will get to the questions as quickly as she can. So I'm going to speak first. I will start by sharing my screen. Let's see now. Let's do this properly. Okay, can you see my screen, everyone? Great. So let's get this moving. So some housekeeping things. It's a webinar. And so like Sue said earlier, you can see us, but we can't see you. But smile when you type in your questions, smile as you do it. We'll feel all that positive energy coming through. And so it's being recorded. The slides will be sent to you after the webinar. I saw someone ask a question about that. As said before, if you have a question, use the question and answer Q&A tab and post your question there. And Dima or Mary will get to it, or even Sue. If you are experiencing any technical difficulties, let us know by using the chat option. Don't freak out. You will still get to have that information later. And again, it says read the disclaimer in the chat as it's being recorded, just so you know. Okay. So this is Claude Brulé. He's the president of the college. He is a phenomenal person. And so if you ever see him on campus, just stop and say hello. He loves to hear about your experience. This is Robin, another phenomenal person. She's the dean. So the Language Institute, the EAP program comes under the umbrella of the Language Institute. And the Language Institute is part of the Faculty of Arts, Media and Design, and Robin is the dean. Of course, David introduced himself. He's a great fellow. If you have questions or you need to chat with him about the program, feel free to do that, to reach out to him. And so the EAP program, something that makes us really unique is how multicultural it is. I like to say we're the United Nations. You have people from different parts of the world. And I love to travel, but you know, travel can be expensive. So I find that being in the EAP program is a special way to travel without having to buy a ticket, because I get to meet people from different parts of the world. I am originally from Nigeria, and I like to say, yeah, we have a great soccer team, and the last World Cup we played against Egypt. I still have. And so what I like to see is, I like to see the diversity we have reflected here today. So if you don't mind, could you put in the chat box what country you come from? Even if you're Canadian, what's your regional country? What's your country of origin? Could you put that in the chat, and so we can take a look? Let's do that in about 2 minutes or even less, okay? Let's see, what do we have? Okay, Vietnam, Thailand, Peru, Turkey, okay, Iraq, Vietnam, Lebanon, Korea, Afghanistan. Let's see, Brazil, nice. Who else? Turkey, Tunisia, okay. Myanmar, okay. Congo, Hong Kong. Who else? Let's see, Congo, Rwanda, Tunisia, Moscow, Russia, Ecuador, Rwanda again. Go on, I'm sure we have more people. Palestine, good. Let's see, Syria. Who else? Central African Republic, cool. Yemen, Iraq. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's see who's next. Are we all out? We've covered all the countries of the world. Okay, neat. So like I said, I'm originally from Nigeria. Dima, you're originally from?
Palestine.
Oh, Palestine, nice. And Sue, your roots are from where? What are your roots?
England, Ireland.
Okay, nice. Irina, you?
I'm from Belarus.
Ah, and Mary?
Greece.
Greece, see? So, okay, excellent. So you can see we're quite diverse, not just as students, but even the faculty. And what that means is that we appreciate the importance of being different. It is nice. It's interesting. And so what's really important about this, why I bring it up, is respect. When we come from so many different places, different cultures, religions, customs, it is important to respect people's ideas. You don't have to agree with everybody, but you can agree to disagree respectfully. And so it's great to celebrate our culture. It's great to do that with respect. Okay, going on to the next slide. And so we did that. And so people have been asking questions about how the program will be delivered this term. And so for the May and July terms, so from May to August, it's going to be remotely. That means we're going to do it through Zoom. What will happen is you need to check your Algonquin College email, not your Hotmail, not your Gmail, not your Yahoo, your Algonquin College email. That's where your teachers will send all communication. And so your teachers will send you an email to say, welcome, this is how you can access the class. If you don't see that email, log into Access. Access is a system, and Mary is going to, I think it's Mary who will talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure now. But Access is a system that would allow you, where you can see your timetable, your account balance, and all of that. And so you go into Access, see your timetable. And then if you go into Brightspace, you'll see your course shells. And when you get into your course shells, there is a calendar. And so your teacher will post the link there. So again, how do you know how to get into your class on the 9th? Your teacher will either send you an email or put the information in the course calendar, which is on Brightspace. To be successful, you need a laptop. You need a laptop, okay? So make sure that you have a laptop that works. Not your phone, not an iPad, because those have limited functionalities, but a laptop. So I'd like to talk about level progression so that you understand how the EAP program works. Before I continue, Dima, is there any question that I need to address about the first section?
No, all good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Okay, so sorry, I should say I've got 2 monitors. So I'm not looking away from you, I'm looking at 2 monitors. So you'll know why it looks as if I have my face turned the other way. So here we have on the screen there, we've got, you can see this says 7 weeks and this says 7 weeks, and we have 1 week break. This explains the structure of the program. So each term of the program is 7 weeks. So we're gonna have May to June, 7 weeks. Then we're gonna have, sometimes it's 1 week, sometimes it's 2 weeks. Then we have a break, and then you come back and do another 7 weeks. Now, there are, depending, we like to say there are 6 levels. So this is, I'm gonna get my spotlight here. Okay, so here we've got EAP 1. This is part 1A. and Part 1B. So on your timetable, you're going to see level 1 or level 2, especially if you're an international student. So you need to take Part 1A and pass reading Part 1A, then you can take reading Part 1B. And so we've got 1A, 7 weeks, 1B, 7 weeks, 2A, 7 weeks, 2B, 7 weeks, 3A, 7 weeks, and 3B, 7 weeks. You can see the courses that are offered: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. You can expect to spend 14 hours in total in class studying. Part B, we've got reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and one other course, pronunciation strategies. This is 1 hour a week. So you can expect to spend 15 hours in class studying. And in class here, it's not in person, it's online. Part B, 2A, 2A, you have reading, writing, listening, and speaking. It's 14 hours of class time. 2B, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And one course here that is 1 hour a week, Discover Ottawa. It's a chance to learn more about Ottawa while you're working on your language skills. It's a very interesting course. So here you can expect to spend 15 hours studying in class. 3A, we've got reading, Part A, writing, listening, and speaking, and a general education course, Healthy Lifestyle. So here you can expect to spend 22 hours a week. This is 6 hours. Now, students ask, why do I have to study healthy lifestyle? Well, general education is about learning skills that will make you a more wholesome individual. And so in this case, this general education course, Healthy Lifestyle, there's a lot of critical thinking, a lot of reading, using what you've done in your reading class and your writing class and your listening class to make sure that you're able to complete this exercise. So this kind of pulls together everything you've done. And then Part B, we've got reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and workplace communication. Here we talk about things like resumes and all those important things about workplace. And so here you expect 13 hours of class time. Okay, so again, in summary, 7 weeks per level, 7 weeks per level, and 1 week usually. Sometimes we have 2 weeks break in between. So a little bit more explanation about the levels. So if you remember, I said Part 1, Level 1, EAP 1A and 1B. So Level 1 has Part A and Part B. For domestic students, we talk about Level 1, Level 2, Level 3. And that is because domestic students are registered for 14 weeks. International students are registered every 7 weeks. So you can come every 7 weeks. And this is because the visa approval, nobody can tell when you're going to get your visa. So we've set it up so you can join the program every 7 weeks. Now, whether you're domestic or international, you are in the same class and it is the same curriculum. So you're learning the same thing and you have the same teachers. The distinction here, we have domestic and international, is for administrative purposes so that we can better meet your needs, because if you're domestic, your needs are a little different in terms of the kinds of support you need, which is why Sue is here to talk about the internationals. But with regards to the curriculum, you learn the same thing and you are in the same class. And so for international students, you like that very much because it means you have a chance to meet other people, not just international students. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that. So a few things. Your success here in the program really depends on how hard you want to work. So it's not just the teacher's responsibility. It is not just the coordinator's responsibility. The learner, who in this case is you also have some responsibility. So some things you're responsible for: checking your schedule to make sure you're registered in all the required courses, okay? And so that at the end, you can graduate. If you miss taking one course, that means you cannot graduate from the program. Now, when you are taking the courses, the way it works is if you pass reading 1A, then you can go to reading 1B. If you pass writing part A, you can take writing part B, 1B. If you pass listening and speaking 1A, you can take listening and speaking 1B. If you fail reading 1A and pass listening and speaking 1A and you pass writing 1A, you will only repeat the one you failed. You will continue to take the next for the ones you have passed. And so if you have any questions, you can send the email to Javed, or at this time, because Dima is covering for Javed, you can send an email to Dima. Dima, if you don't mind, could you put your email in the chat there so that they'll see that? So if you have questions about how to progress, what courses you have to take, when you see your timetable and you're confused, send an email to me, and that's me here, Chinedu, or send an email to Dima. Dima is going to put her email in the chat box. So Brightspace is the platform we use here. And so your courses will be on Brightspace. If you do not see your courses on Brightspace, please contact myself or Dima, as she's covering for Javed at this time. Okay, so if you have paid your fees, it's important for you to pay your fees. Then you should be able to see your timetable. You should be able to see your course shells. If you have paid your fees and you cannot see your timetable or your course shells, please contact Dima or me, okay? If you haven't paid your fees, then you will not see either of these. You need to pay your fees ASAP, as soon as possible. So let's talk a little bit more about the progression. So I had said this before, but you need to pass a level 1A or 2A or 3A course to be able to move to the part B of the course, okay? If the person fails a part A of a course, the person cannot take the part B of the course. So it is possible for a student to be taking 2B, listening and speaking, 2B, reading, and 1A, writing, just because the person has now passed 1A, but you will keep progressing on the ones you have passed. Okay, so what that means is that progress is based on meeting the prerequisites. If you meet the requirements for one, then you can move on. So the grading system. How do you know you have passed? And this is really very important, so I need you to listen carefully. Now, in the EAP program, if you're taking listening and speaking, reading, and writing. If you get 63%, which is a C, it means you have passed the course. You can go on to take the next level, okay? However, this is really important. If you want to continue into a program of study, so for instance, your plan is you finish your EAP program and then you go on to study tourism, or you want to go on to study ECE, or you want to go on to study hospitality management, whatever it is. If you finish your EAP and your plan is to continue in Algonquin College, 63% will not get you there. Okay? To do that, you need to get at least a B or a B minus on each course. So listening, a B, reading, a B, writing, a B. If you have a C, then you will not meet the requirements. So please remember this. If you get 63%, yes, you've passed the course, but it does not mean that you have met the requirements to get into the program of study. Passing the course does not mean that you've met the language requirement to get into this program of study. So remember that. So if you are not quite sure, contact Deemer, contact Mary, or contact me, and we will explain it further to you, okay? So do we have any questions that I need to address?
We have one question, but I think it's regarding visa, student visa. So maybe if you...
Okay, I think Sue, do you want to talk about that so that we don't keep the person waiting, or do I continue? Sue there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, what was your question?
Someone has a question about student visa, and I wondered if you wanted to address it so we don't keep the person waiting, and then we'll continue.
Okay, in the, let's see.
Q&A.
So they're asking, so unfortunately, no, we're not allowed to ask a question on, like, to communicate with IRCC. You just have to be patient. We know that the processing times are really, really long. I'm sure that you would have already received communication from like the international recruitment team in regards to like a waiver. So, I mean, I can follow up with you afterwards if you're still waiting for your visa and possibly want to transfer to a different start date. So I will take your name down and then have recruitment follow up with you.
Okay, thank you, Sue. Okay, any other questions?
We have another questions about fees.
Okay. And the question is it possible, oh, that's immigration. What's the question about fees? Is that in the chat?
Yes, it just, how
much time do you have?
Do I have to pay?
How much time do you, I always say it's good to pay at least 2 weeks before classes start, because what happens, you pay online and then it takes a number of days for the money to get to the school, and then we have to process it, and then we get to register you. So the longer you wait, the classes might fill up by the time you pay your fees, which means you won't be able to join the classes that term. You might have to. So
yeah, and just a note for international students, if you are an international student, you should be referring to your letter of acceptance that you received from the international admissions team, because it should be outlined on your offer letter, you know, when your fees deadline is, how much you need to pay, so that you have those receipts to submit if you're applying for study permits from abroad. So just check your letter of acceptance if you are an international student and you have questions about fees.
Yeah, thank you, Sue. So, I mean, essentially what that means is that international students, your timelines are a little bit different from that for the domestic students because of your visa requirements. So look at the letter for the domestic students as soon as possible.
So, and I see the student has, it must be a domestic student because they said that they've already paid a deposit of $500 for their school. And normally if your fees are being deferred, usually, so for example, for the May intake, the balance is probably due by the end of May. So just check on your Access account once you log into Access, because you should be able to see all that information and when your fees due date is for the balance of your fees.
Exactly. Thank you, Sue. So yeah, so check Access. It will tell you when you should pay the rest. Okay, it's important to make sure you pay your fees as indicated so that you don't get a surcharge. You don't pay interest on what you're owing, number one. And you should pay before you complete that level. Because if you don't, we will not be able to register you in the next level if you're owing money, okay? That delays your registration. Okay, getting started. Dima, is this me or is this you?
This section, I think it's me.
Okay, over to you. So Dima will take over from here now. Dima, tell me when you want me to go to the next slide, okay?
Okay, thank you. So you can move to the next slide. I'm going to talk about attendance and books and how to help you succeed in the program. We have a textbook for each skill, and you need to buy your textbooks as soon as possible. If you are in North America, you can order the textbooks from our college bookstore, which is called Connections. And if you live overseas, and you're currently outside of North America, you can purchase the books from any bookstore. For example, you can use Amazon. You can check our Connection website to check the textbooks that are required by your courses. You can look up your course code. You can look up the textbooks by using the course code or by using your student number. And we advise you to get your textbooks as soon as possible because you will use them every day. Next slide, please. So if you are using your QR code to access your textbook, you need to follow the following steps. You need to scan the QR code and provide it for you with your mobile phone to access the book. Click on textbook, search by course, click on Ottawa campus, and then select the 2022 summer term. Click on the Language Institute and then select the course. You need to know the course code for each of your courses, and then select Go, and then it will take you to the textbook. Hopefully you will see your timetable by tomorrow or by the end of this week, and then you will be able to see your textbooks. I know that many students ask about timetable, so hopefully you will be able to access that as soon as possible. Next slide, please.
Yeah, okay, just to add, Dima, all students received an email. Go to your Algonquin College inbox. The email contains the list of the books you need. And so you can also use that option.
Okay, excellent. For attendance, make sure to go to your class every day because you will be able to practice and you will be able to be up to date with your lessons. You will meet your classmates, your teachers, and you will be ready for exams. You have between 16 to 20 hours per week, And it is important to note that your classes can be scheduled anytime between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is the same time as Toronto. Finally, you will have 1 or 2 classes every day, okay? And I know one of the students asked, the classes will be 5 days a week, every day of the week. Next slide, please. As I mentioned before, attendance is very important to meet your teachers and classmates. And if you will be absent, please advise your teacher ahead of time and send an email to your teacher and explain why you will be absent. Teachers will record your attendance every day. So this is very important to notify your teacher and tell her the reason behind your absence. Next slide, please. Participation, as I mentioned, is very important, and make sure to attend your classes every day. It is important to practice, as Shinedu mentioned as well, and you will be able to be up to date with your lessons and to meet your teachers as well. And don't be shy to ask questions, send emails. We are here to help you as well. We have Shinedu and myself, and also Mary and Irina. So if you have any questions, don't feel shy to contact us. Next slide, please. So this is your student information system, and this is how it will, it looks like. You can log in using your username and password, and you will have access to all the information that you need, such as timetable.
Okay, great. Sorry, if I may just add here, I know we didn't talk about this, Irina, but perhaps people who will need help with access and Brightspace, at the end of this session, you would put your information down, and we'll be happy to set up a short training session to help guide you through, okay? Dima?
Yeah, Algonquin email is very important because teachers only use Algonquin email. So this is something that you need to be aware of, that teachers will not use your private email. So check, it's your responsibility to check your email, Algonquin email, regularly, and I suggest to check it every day. You will receive notifications and important information from your teachers and the college only using your Algonquin email. So make it as a habit to check your Algonquin email regularly. Thank you. Next slide, please. Brightspace is our learning platform, and this is let's say your stop for all the information that you need to be successful in your courses. Teachers will post announcements, give handouts, and also share important information, documents, and also grades. So you can, you need to also check Brightspace regularly every day to be able to be up to date with all of the information. Here is provided a website for you. If you have any questions, you can visit this website. You can email them or call them. Make sure to provide your student number, and they will be able to help you if you have any questions regarding Brightspace. And as Shinedu mentioned, If you would like to be part of the training, you need to put your email and contact information, and they will contact you as well. Next slide, please. You will have a student card and UPass. New students have to upload a picture of their Algonquin College card online in order to get a UPass. UPass is a bus pass that you can use when you are in Ottawa. And you can visit the website for more information if you have any information about UPass. Once your photo is approved and your card is printed, you will get an email about how you can pick up your card using physical distancing and protocol of the college. We have a question: is students' mail on Outlook? It is on Outlook, yes.
Yes.
All right, next slide, please. So if you have any question, please use the Q&A to ask your questions. I will check if they have any questions. No questions so far. So I think this is my section, and Mary can continue with the student success services. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dima. Welcome to the AP program. Hello, everybody. My name is Mary, and I will talk to you about the support services. So services that provide you with academic and personal support. All right, so it is important to know who you must reach out to if you have any concerns regarding your grades, your classes. So if you have any other issues, we hope that you do not have any issues, but that sometimes happens. So here, this diagram shows the procedure that you need to follow in case something like that arises. So the first person you want to reach out to is your teacher. So your teachers are here to help you. They want you to be successful. And most of the time, they are able to solve your problems. Now, if there is a more complicated issue, then you might want to reach out to the program coordinator. So you can send an email and you're going to schedule a Zoom meeting with them. The last resort, if your concern needs further attention, then you might be referred to the chair of the Language Institute, and that is David, who spoke to you earlier. All right. Whatever the case is, I want you to remember that it is important, communication is important in order for you to feel connected and supported. So always reach out to somebody. Next slide, please. These are your program coordinators. So on the left, we see Javed Kazmi for international students. Although as mentioned previously, he's on a leave and currently Dima is covering for him. So you are going to reach out to Dima if you're an international student. If you're a domestic, a Canadian student, you want to reach out to Chinadumba. And this is me. I am the Student Success Specialist. My name is Mary Grammatikakis. You can call me Mary. I know it's hard to pronounce the last name. So I'm here to provide guidance. I'm here to help you succeed in your program. I can help you access the college services and any resources. I'm also here to help any student that might struggle with their studies, and I'm going to do whatever I can to support your learning success. We do not want you to remain silent, so please reach out to me if you have any questions. Now let's talk about withdrawals. If for any reason you need to withdraw, to drop out, to stop your studies, you need to contact your program coordinator. So please do not assume that if you do not show up in the class, you're automatically withdrawn, because you're not withdrawn, and you might face academic and financial penalties. So you might still need to pay tuition fees, and you will be receiving Fs for your courses. We don't want that. So if you decide to withdraw, you need to contact the program coordinator, and they will process your withdrawal. It is important to know that withdrawals take place until I think it's May 20th. Yeah, that's it. Next slide. All right, on top of the student success specialist, you also, and the coordinators, of course, you also have an addition, and that is your academic advisor. So each one of you will be assigned an academic advisor who is going to help you with academic issues related to the EAP program. They can help you with questions you might have about other college programs you're interested in, personal issues, and they will always point you to the right direction. So they usually contact the students in the second week once you start the program. So please watch out for an email from your academic advisor. Check your Algonquin College emails. Now let's see what the Program Council Student Representatives is. So this is a committee of student selected representatives. So this group gives feedback to the professors and everybody who is in charge of the program on your current experiences. So the class representatives are the link. They are the liaison between their class and the academic leaders of the program and the Students Association, since these are the members of the Program Council. So this is an opportunity for you, for the students, to let us know what works well, what you think could change, or raise any concerns that you may have. So to become a class representative, a student must be enrolled in a full-time program, and they are elected by students in their program. Elections are held within the first 3 weeks of a program's academic year. And for the EAP program, we're aiming to have about 6 representatives, so 2 representatives per level. So elections will be held soon. Watch out for an email regarding this as well. Student Support Services is a huge department at the college, which provides a range of services that cover many areas such as health services, a library, student learning center, volunteer center, and much, much more. If you want to get some further information and extra details on these services, you can always have a look at the student handbook, which you can find through this link provided on this page. Now, if you need some support with your Zoom, you're going to contact the Zoom support. You can use this link provided here. If you need support with your access, or you have any issues with your Algonquin College email, let's say, or you need support with any other technical issues, then you want to contact the ITS. You can either phone them up or send an email. Remember, when you send an email, you need to provide your name, your student number, the program you study in, and then your question. And of course, they're going to help you. They're super helpful. And that was it. If you have any questions, please type in the Q&A and we'll be glad to answer.
Chinito, you're muted.
I'm muted. I'm sorry about that. Irina, did you want to spend a few minutes talking to us about Access and Brightspace? Are you able to do that?
Of course. Thank you, Chinito.
Okay. So we'll hand off to you. Thank you so much, Mary and Dima. So Irina will talk to us about Access and Brightspace, and then we'll take it from there. Over to you, Irina.
Yeah.
Do you need me to stop sharing my?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I need to figure out how to do that. Cool.
Awesome. Awesome. I think it's this one. Okay. So good morning, everyone, and thank you all the presenters for this beautiful information that we have received. And thank you, dear students, for your patience. It has been a long time. We're all getting tired, but it's a last kind of push. And I promise I'm not going to keep you here for a long time. But my part of this presentation is about getting your Algonquin College username and passwords, or your Algonquin College network account. So while studying at Algonquin College, everyone needs to have your Algonquin College credentials, a username and a password. So, and the same username and password you can carry over all your levels of studies. Like if you're in EAP 1, it will be the same in EAP 2, the same in EAP 3, even if you go to your program of study at Algonquin College. So, and it's very easy to obtain your username and password. You just need to follow the next steps. So, and also, once you get your username and password, you will have access to your, for example, timetable, to your final grades, to your college email accounts, to your Brightspace. Okay, so first of all, what you need to do, you need to go to Algonquin College website, so algonquincollege.com, and you can do it from any browser. It could be a Mozilla, it could be Chrome. Personally, I prefer Chrome. Okay, and then from there, you click on current student. Okay, current student. So algonquincollege.com, current student. After that, you will see several icons here that you are going to use, as Dima and Chinid already mentioned, on everyday basis. So for example, Brightspace. Brightspace is all the information from your teachers, your exams, your tests, everything will be happening here on Brightspace. Okay, it's a learning platform. And again, when you click here, get the info, click on Brightspace, you will require to enter your username and password. I cannot do this because I don't have a student username and password. If I log in with my credentials, it will be a little different, but it's very easy. So Brightspace, click here and enter your Algonquin College username and password. And also you will have this one Algonquin email account. So as already Dima mentioned in her presentation, you need to check this on everyday basis. It's your correspondence between you and your teacher, even with classmates. You will be using not your personal email account, but this one, Algonquin email account. And again, it would require your Algonquin email user ID. For example, it will be, I don't know, Jan007 at algonquinlife.com. And here, it's a very important icon here, it's ITS. So if you have any technical issues, it will be ITS. It's not Chinedu, it's not Dima, it's not Sue Hodgins, it's not Mary. It's ITS who is going to help you with Algonquin, with any technical issues. Okay, I can help you guys if you still have issues to log in or just initial help with username, credential, username and password, for example. I can help you. And maybe Dima, if you can put my email, pimache@algonquincollege.com, you can contact me. And if I can help you, I will help you. If not, I will direct you to a person who can help you, okay? But your Algonquin College username and password you will get from Access. from here. So once again, going back, you algonquincollege.com, then you go and click on Access. So from Access, there, everything is happening. From Access, you are receiving your Algonquin College username and password, okay? Once you click on Access, you will see that screen and login screen where you need to enter your 9-digit student number, okay? And if it's your first time to log in, the system will require your password will be your date of birth. So you enter everything, you click on this, and then you need to accept to this terms and condition kind of screen and click continue. And then again, the system will ask you will ask you to change your password from your date of birth, okay? And again, here you need to follow this criteria written here beside the new password, confirm password. Okay, just follow something, choose your password between 6 and 12 characters in length, and just follow all this. Once you're done this part, we'll be lucky. We are going to get that icon saying that, okay, your PIN was successfully updated. Okay, and here, guys, on the left side, on the icon on the left side, you need to click on Network Account Info. Network Account Info, where you're going to see your username and password. It will look like this. Okay, let me make it bigger, something like that. Okay, so your username will be some letters, some numbers, and your password, like this, small, capital letters, some numbers again. And your email, Algonquin College email account. Again, it's username @algonquinlife.com. Once you get this screen, take a picture or just put it in writing, memorize, do something about this, but you remember your username and password because you will be using on everyday basis and sometimes maybe 100 times a day, okay? So this is your username and password. I just would like to bring to your attention that sometimes in some cases, and I saw with some of my students, the username was missing. Student just had, for example, just password. It means, and sometimes it takes up to 48 hours to process your information. And if, for example, after 48 hours or class about to start, whatever, please, and you still don't have your username and password, you need to contact ITS because only they can help you, not your teachers, again, not your coordinators, only ITS. Okay, and for ITS, it's already, you saw all this from Chinedu and from Dima, but again, please contact technical support, ITS. So this is the extension 5555, or send them email, okay, 5555@algonquincollege.com. They're very quick. You can come even and just visit the campus. I live very close to Algonquin College, so I'm almost every day there. So they're not very busy there, so their help is immediate and quick and professional, so you can always come and chat with them and they will help you, okay? So what else? Again, it's, yeah, you saw this. I think Dima already showed it to you. Okay, and another thing that I want to show you. So this is your username and password. So that screen, something like that, take a picture again, memorize, put it in writing, and you will have it during your studies at Algonquin College. Another thing, once you're here in Access, again, all this information on the left side on that screen. So here from network account information, you are receiving your username and password. But also when you scroll down, you can see other important information for you. For example, for Canadian students, like financial aid, you can see apply for bursary status, for example. Also here, you can view your timetable because you finish the level, you go to next level, how to see, where to see. Here, under courses, view your timetable, okay? And for example, your grades. So you can view your grades, for example, on Brightspace, but once the course, you finish the course, later on, you would like to see your grades, it's here, your grades. Okay, and other kind of information. I don't know what you can be interested here, but see taxes and other things. So it's on Access. Okay, so it's on Access. So everything is happening on Access. See, Access, you're getting your username and password and other important information, such as financial information, for example, courses, your timetable. Okay, so that's it, I think. I promise I will be short and sweet. So, but if you have any questions, more than welcome. And again, if you need my help after that presentation, please feel free to email me, like pimashi@algonquincollege.com. My name is Irina, and also ITS. It will be very helpful. They even probably will help you faster and more efficiently than me, but you're more than welcome to contact me. Any question that we might have?
Okay.
No
Thank you, Irina.
Stop sharing.
Do we have any questions? Okay. Looks like we don't have any questions. We have 2 participants raised. Okay, do you want to unmute yourself and speak, or do you want to type in? Is it Maya Wad? You want the ITS email? Maya Wad, sure, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Remember, it's being recorded, so it's your choice. Go ahead. Dima, do you mind typing in the ITS email in the chat? Thank you.
Sure.
Mike, go ahead.
5555@algonquincollege.com. 4 5s.
Maya, are you going to speak or you want to type? So, Vu, are you an international student? Okay. So, Sue, do you want to answer that? She wants to know if, oh, what happened? Sue disappeared. So, for the UPass, every student, it's part of your fees. If you want to opt out, you will have to contact the student association to opt out. Mai, we can't hear you. Do you want to type your question, Mai? Because we cannot hear you. Welcome back, Sue.
Hello. Hi, sorry. So what was the question, Shinadu?
Student has a question about UPass, wants to know if she needs it even though she's studying online.
So you'd have to reach out to the UPass office. They have, if you want to opt out, you have to follow the instructions from the UPass office. I'll find the email or the link to UPass, because that would be the UPass office. They would let you know whether you can opt out or not. And there's a link I see actually right on. And so I'm going to put this link in the chat for the UPass. And right from their website, there is a link that takes you on the top. It says opt out or opt in. So you can following the instructions on the top of the banner there if you want to opt out of the UPass for the term.
Okay. Thank you. Mai, we can't hear you still. Maybe you want to type your question. I'm not sure why we cannot hear you. Okay, maybe you can contact, you live in Quebec. Can you also use UPass? Are you an international student or domestic? You're an international student. Sue, do you want to answer that question? It's
well, I believe like the UPass, you can use it on both sides. Like if you're living in Quebec and studying here, I believe it does, like the buses that you can catch from downtown that just go across to Quebec. But again, I would send that question to the UPass office and just say, and it doesn't matter whether you're international or domestic student, if you get the UPass, you have the same support services through the UPass office. So just send them a question, but I'm 99% sure that you can use that to go get across to Quebec, but I don't know if you can use it everywhere in Gatineau, if that's where you're living. So they should be able to let you know.
Thank you, Sue. The fees of using UPass, is it deducted when you start using it, or even us studying online get affected?
So the UPass is part of your tuition fees. So if you pay a global fee for you get access to certain, you get access to the library, you get the UPass, you get your student ID card. So it's an automatic fee that's part of your tuition that you pay. And so the bus pass or the UPass is usually like a semester or like a 2-month block that your UPass would be valid for the spring semester. Again, since it's not our area of expertise, I would contact the UPass office because they'd be able to give you the most up-to-date information in regards to UPass. And I believe they do also have an email, which is just upass@algonquincollege.com.
Okay, so people are asking about books. I just uploaded into the chat there information, I believe. Do you see it? Yeah. Oh, I sent it to Dima instead of, I meant to send it to everyone. So I will send it to everyone now. Those who are asking about textbooks, just give me 1 second. I will. Okay, so they're ordering textbooks. You can download that and you will get all the information you need to help you order your textbooks. Apply for bursary. Okay, so what's your question, Cedric? If you think you'd like to apply, you can apply, follow the instructions there, and they'll let you know if you qualify. So the bursary is money you get, you don't have to pay it back to help support you. Mahmoud, you sent me an email yesterday. I will check my email and I will get back to you, okay? Lots of emails coming in, so I will get back to you. Okay. Do we have further questions?
I see there's one question in the Q&A just asking for access to the athletic center restricted during vacations. So the ARC, which is the athletic center on campus, is run by the Students Association. So as far as I know, it's open year round. During the Christmas holidays, it might have restricted hours, but I believe they have all their hours of operation right on the website, or you can reach out to the ARC as well. But it is open like all through the spring, summer term. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us and all our guest speakers. I do need to step out because I have another webinar at 11 o'clock that I need to prepare for. So again, if you're an international student and you need support from our office, I'm just going to put the IEC support email there in the chat if you have any questions that weren't addressed today, and then we can assist you. So thanks again and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Sue, and thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.